Hi, everyone. Manuela Marcheggiani. Welcome to my podcast, The Confessions of a Cosmetic Chemist. Today, we're going to talk about eye care and why it's important. And in the cosmetic world or in the skincare world, there are many formulations that we make for all over the body, but one area in particular that people usually start out with, it's eye care. And the reason why eye care is very important is because eyes, they say the eyes are the window to the soul. And when you're looking at people, you look at their eyes. But around our eyes, our skin is a little different. The mechanism is a little different. We have to take precautions from what's happening around the eye area. So, for example, because the skin is the thinnest around the eyes, this is the area that shows a lot of life. You're going to start to see your lines and wrinkles around your eyes earlier. If you don't have enough sleep, you have dark circles. If you eat too much salt or have too much wine, you have puffiness. There's a lot of things that happen around the eye area. The eye is a very much a telltale element or area that really shows your energy, your health, your vitality, your mood. So eye care is important. Many people believe that you don't need separate eye formulations, or you don't need separate formulations for around the eye area. So let's break it down a little bit. When you're thinking about the skin and the skin thickness and the dermis, all right? The eye area is the thinnest area. So it's about the thickness of a credit card, maybe 2 credit cards. And then the rest of your face, the rest of your body has much thicker skin. So around the eye area, it's very, very thin, very, very fragile, not a lot of oil glands. And your eyes are in that zone as well. So there is a vulnerability. There's an open area being your eye. Therefore, using your face moisturizer that is designed for thicker skin and skin with oil glands, for example, then when you're putting that on all over your face, including your eyes, your eye may not be getting the nutrients and the support that it actually requires. This area is a very active area. We blink about 10,000 times a day, or we look around or use those muscles many, many times a day. And so when we have a lot of wear and tear, when we have a lot of vulnerability, it really moves us to create formulations that are going to be very appropriate for that area. When you're using a facial moisturizer, when you're using just a regular cream around the eye area, you may notice you wake up with puffy eyes. You may notice you have blurry vision. You may notice that you have more irritation. You may notice that your eyes water. And the fact your eyes are watering, it's actually trying to rinse away and wash away anything that is around that eye area. And you may say, you know what? I put my product on. I didn't even get it in my eyes. So you're telling me my eyes are watering, but it didn't even touch my eyes. Well, here's the funny thing about skincare, especially rich skincare. If you put it around even the bone, orbital bone around the eye area, and I always have to say that twice because I always say it wrong, around the eye area, the oils or the product will creep. It's called creeping. So what happens is it slowly melts into the skin and it slowly moves up toward the eye area. So you'll end up with some of those ingredients in the tear trough area, in and around the eye area, causing irritation. So even though you may apply it just up to this level, chances are, if it's rich enough, thick enough, emollient enough, it finds its way in. The other thing is you may be using something like a cleanser or a makeup remover that is designed for the face, for not necessarily for the eye, and that also will impede your vision and cause the tearing and cause some kind of redness or irritation. So what the body is telling us is that the eye has specific recommendations or needs. You need to take certain precautions around the eye area. When I first started formulating, when I first started getting into cosmetic chemistry and skincare, one of the very first formulas we created was our Fast Lift Eye Serum. And the reason why we did this was everything out there up until that time, and we're talking about, 1995, 96. Up until that time, products for the eye area were usually in small little pots, very, very rich, gel-like, oil-like, even anhydrous products. So they're waterless, right? And yet you would see women who are following very strict skincare protocols, who are actually doing everything right, if you will, by beauty standards, They were taking care of their skin. They were, eating right. They were using these very expensive, and they were very small pots and very, very expensive. And they would have puffy eyes. They would have poptosis, droopy lid. They would have, crow's feet. They would have a lot of milia. And that really brought to the forefront doing a lot of research into why are these expensive, well-formulated products, why are they not causing positive results around the eye area? And a lot had to do with the weight of the product and the ingredients being too much, too heavy for the eyes. So when we created Fast Lift Eye Serum, we took the oils out. We took parabens out. We took a lot of things out that were causing sensitivity or too much pressure, kind of blocking the eye, blocking the tear trough. We created an oil-free serum that had micronutrients in it. And this was designed to tone, tighten, and refresh that eye area, almost like giving it support and a drink of water without giving it the oil and the heaviness. So this was a clear signal that the eye area requires different protocols. That's why you'll see a lot of eye serums or lightweight formulations for around the eye. Then you take a look at the eye, and you notice that the eyes have muscles around it. So you're blinking, you're winking. I can't do both sides. I can only wink one side. But you're blinking and you're winking. And this is causing expression lines or repeated facial movement. So this is getting a lot of activity. So you need extra support around the eye. So peptides come into place. Collagen supporting signals come into place to really help mitigate the wear and tear of the collagen around the eye area. Another particular element of the eye area is underneath the eye. Underneath the eye, you have a couple of things more than a couple. Puffiness is one. Puffiness is really a bit of an edema, swelling in that eye area. And when you have edema or swelling in the eye area, the last thing you want to do is use an oil-based product that's going to cause more swelling, because that usually can get into the tear line, and that could literally clog that area up and cause more swelling. So you don't want to do that. The other thing is the fact that you start to see dark circles. Dark circles can be a result of very thin skin underneath the eye and looking straight in through to your lymphatic system. This is where you're seeing this other, you have your arterial system and you have your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is very visible underneath the eye area, and usually it needs stimulation. Rebounding is a really good way to stimulate your lymphatic system, or even kind of like pressure massage just around to move it through. And this will clear out that dark circle element that you can see when you're seeing the blood flow that's not really moving very well. So underneath your eye, you're seeing the dark circles. That's thin skin. You don't really see it anywhere else because you don't have this exposure. So that area also needs what? It needs stimulation. Ingredients that are very good for that are going to be vitamin K, caffeine. These are things that are going to stimulate and tighten and tone this area to really help with the lymphatic system, the microcirculation, and also reduce the puffiness. Another element that happens underneath the eye, hollowness, where you lose the fat pads or you have an anatomical shift when you're older. And when you have this anatomical shift and you see this hollow underneath the eye area, you get this sunken in look. Ingredients that are going to help and be beneficial for that, which don't really happen to the same extent or as visibly, are going to be the retinoids, the collagen peptides, and then the dermal filler technologies. So you can utilize those like a neodermal technology. And this is all using skincare. Right now we're going to talk about skincare. I know there are interventions that you can do surgically, or you can get fillers or Botox put in around the eye area to help mitigate a lot of these issues and to really improve the look and the resiliency of the eye contour. But we really want to stick to the skincare in Confessions of a Cosmetic Chemist, because I like to be able to offer different remedies and different insight into what is more beneficial for the quality and the texture of the skin around the eyes, and how that area really can benefit from the different technologies. So for underneath the eye area, when you have the hollowness, I always think of neodermal technology, fill-in technology. These technologies help refatten that skin, help with the dermal filling on the surface. When you're thinking of dark circles, I'm thinking of haloxyl technology, vitamin K, with MDI complex, very important for this, and any kind of puffiness. There are peptides called eyeless that are going to help tone and tighten this area. And all of them are designed for the eye. Even Beautify, another one of the peptide elements that help brighten up the entire eye contour. It's designed specifically to be less clogging to the eye area, very, very lightweight, very, very nutrient dense or highly active. So you use a little bit with, and as a lot of people like to talk about using a ring finger, a little bit with a light touch, because again, appreciating the fact that this is very thin skin and requires a lighter hand, not only in application, but also in formulation. Factors to consider when choosing a suitable eye care product are going to be, what is it that is going on with your eye area? Is it lines and wrinkles? Is it dryness? Is it puffiness? Is it dark circles? So depending on what's going on, first you have to know your skin type and your skin tolerance. What are you doing? What are your habits as well? So your skin type, your habits, and then your goals. And in the beginning part, you're going to find that you're going to have fine lines, maybe some expression lines, and that goes into collagen quality where you start to see a laxity around the eye area. So when you're looking at these markers, it's not that one formula does everything. You need to be very specific with the ingredients to know what the ingredient is going to do. So when you're dealing with lines and wrinkles, you're going to deal with collagen boosting, your retinoids, your collagen peptides. Sunscreen is also very important to help protect the work that you're doing and to help protect your skin against accelerated aging or damage, because the UV irradiation really will chew up your collagen. So it's very important too to be able to, if you don't wear sunscreen around the eyes because you find that sunscreen is very harsh or irritates your eyes, wear sunglasses, wear a hat. Really protect, like you can wear protective clothing and really protect this area and the skin around the eyes, because it is thinner, it ages faster, it shows the visible signs of aging faster. Other ingredients that are very good for underneath the eye, as we talked about, when you have the dark circles, you're going to go with things that are going to work on pigmentation, right? You're going to work with the haloxyl. I love that ingredient. I think haloxyl is a really good ingredient for dark circles, as well as vitamin K. And of course, we have caffeine to stimulate and flush. You want to improve that microcirculation for the eyes. What's important with your eye area, you want to keep the eye area clean. You want to keep it protected and moisturized, right? So how you cleanse your eye area is very important. You should be using a gentle cleanser. You don't want to use beads or acids around the eye area. The reason why you don't want to have beads around the eyes or any kind of the scrubbing action around the eyes, these particles can get into your eye and scratch your eye. That's not very beneficial. It's not comfortable. It's not safe. Acids, again, if you're putting acids that are very acidic or very harsh around the eye area, it can cause a lot of irritation. I like to use a very gentle cleanser around the eye area. There are specific dedicated like micellar water or makeup removers or oil-based cleansers. Now I know we talked about oil, and we talked about the fact that oil is very heavyweight and can cause blockages around the eye. But if it's in a cleanser and you're using it to remove your makeup, which is very important, it's better to use the oil around the eyes than to leave the makeup on or leave residual makeup on around your eye area, because that will actually accelerate aging and inflammation around the eyes. So you want to use a cleanser around the eye that's going to dissolve the makeup and the mascara, everything that's there, remove it away, cause a gentle, and I like using an enzymatic exfoliant around the eye. So we use a lactobacillus ferment. So once I cleanse my eyes, I use an eye peel with lactobacillus ferment. Rinse, rinse, rinse. You want to rinse that eye area extra. You really want to be able to remove, because you want to make sure that not only have you taken away any of the cleanser or the residual element of your cleansers, you want to make sure that everything is rinsed away so nothing migrates or creeps into the eye area. But you also want to flush out that eye area and make sure that it's very well balanced. Very important. You don't want to leave your makeup on overnight. You don't want to leave these particles when you have makeup. Makeup has a lot of talc in it, or it has a lot of particles in it that create the pigment and the shine. And these can be very irritating. The mascara gets into the eye. Again, your eye will tear up and try to throw it off. One of the things about your eye is it does want to protect itself. So when it is irritated, when it is dry, when it's tearing up, it is signaling to you, get this out of here. Get this off of me. This is something I don't like. And with skincare around the eye, I think that less is more. You don't want to put too many products. You don't want to put too many competing products. You don't want to create a complicated system that the very thin skin cannot really benefit from. It could only utilize so much, right? So it's better to go very lightweight twice a day than to use a heavy product around the eye area and then touch and rub and play with that eye area. Because you don't want to be pulling and tugging at this skin. There is a lot of potential to stretch the skin. There are a lot of formulas out there that are based in a silicone base or in a hydrous base. You put them on your eye area. You look back in the mirror, but 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes later, and you're like, it's a miracle. All my lines and wrinkles are gone. Puffiness is gone. Everything is so smooth. These formulas bug me a lot. And the reason why is because this is a false sense of results or hope or resolution for the eye area. When you're using these silicones or these ingredients that create these, they feel great. They feel like velvet. They feel really nice. They go onto your skin and it looks like it's correcting and smoothing out your eye area. You think of your eye area, this is how I think of it, as a balloon, right? Your eye's like a balloon, right? And when they put this coating around it, the balloon fills up with moisture and it looks very, very smooth. When you wash that product away, it deflates and you're left with sagging skin all the way around because it's stretching your skin. It's creating a bit of an occlusion, and the occlusion gives you the illusion of smooth, plumped up skin. But at the same time, it's an artificial filling of that area, which when it's not there, when you wash it off, when you switch products, when you use something that is more lightweight or doesn't have the silicones in it, you will start to see those wrinkles. So for me, it was always better to create a stronger skin as opposed to creating an inflated sense of smoothness. So the eye area does respond very quickly to a lot of formulas that are very heavy with silicones, even though they're lightweight. Remember, the silicones are designed nowadays to be very smoothing and lightweight. This is why your concealer, when you put concealer on or you're putting some makeup on, you can really smooth out that area. Then when you wash your skin, you're like, look at all those wrinkles. Well, this is because that concealer has created a bit of an occlusion, and that is creating the illusion of smoothness. But when you take that away, you're left with an empty envelope. And so your job, or my job, I guess, as a cosmetic chemist, is to create a formula that takes that loose skin and tightens it up. And the way we're going to tighten it up is in formulations that is a active that is stimulating collagen, that's tightening up the skin, it's helping to volumize without giving this blown up edema underneath the skin. It's kind of like, it's this little dance that we play with the formulation. We want to be able to build up the strength, but we have to do it very, very gently because we have to respect the fact that this area is so complicated and so precious because it is your vision, it is your eyes. So we want to be able to give you formulations that are going to help restructure, tone, and tighten the skin, but it also has to be gentle, right? That's why the ingredients around the eye area are very specific to the eye area. So the long and the short, and to summarize, the eye area does require specific attention, specific formulations. There are many things going on. It's not just, wrinkles or puffiness. You've got a lot of things and the temperamental or vulnerable nature of the eye area. So choose your eye care properly. Choose your eye care specifically for the needs that you want to achieve or the requirements of your eye. Don't go heavy handed around the eye. Do try to do things that are going to refresh your eye. I mean, even at home, I mean, you could put a couple of cucumber slices, tea bags, things around your eye to really help stimulate that, but in a nice, gentle way. You can do a little bit of massage around the eye. Again, use a light finger, really stimulate and start to get this microcirculation moving around the eye, because when your eyes are firm and toned, it really, and open, because I notice too, as you get older, the area around the eye, you start to notice that your eyelid gets longer. That's the elasticity. You get the wrinkles on the side, could get a little bit heavy, maybe a little bit more difficult to keep that eye area open. So it's really good to be able to use skincare that is designed, engineered to work on the skin structure and not just camouflage the problem, not just put a silicone or a concealer to give this false sense of taking care of that area. It's the integrity of the skin itself and the structural elements that we really want to focus on. So I urge you to think about what your goals are for the eye area. If you have questions and comments on how to treat your eye area for, these different elements or where you want to go, please leave your comments below. We look forward to your questions and comments and to interact and to be able to help you choose the right skincare for your eyes. And always have fun with it. I mean, it doesn't have to be that serious when you're doing it, when you're playing with skincare. Ask questions, be a little bit experimental. Know that the eye area especially will give you a really great payoff when you find the right formula. That's why I like the Fast Lift Eye Serum so much. This is what I've been using for the last 27 years around my eye area. The Fast Lift Eye Serum, it is oil-free, fragrance-free, paraben-free. I use it 3 times a day. I use literally a tiny little drop all around the eye area. And for me, it's just like food for the eye. This is just really going to give my skin what it needs around the eye area without weighing it down, without stimulating milia, without clogging the tear trough, without dragging that eye area down. It's very refreshing, very eye-opening. And I find that days when I don't use it, I feel more tired. I find that I have less energy. So the eyes really help set you up to have a lot more energy and, a lot more, get more things done. It just helps you have a little bit more pizzazz and not feel so, whatever word that is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Confessions of a Cosmetic Chemist, all about the eyes. If you have other questions and comments or want more specific detail or information, let me know below and we'll follow up with you as soon as possible. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.